Welcome back to Grow with Sunny. I'm so glad you're here today. Can I tell you something that happened to me this week? I had a serious case of the I don't wannas. You ever had one of those? My mom asked me to clean up my toys, and I just looked at her and said, I don't want to. I didn't even try to make it sound nice. Then my dad told me it was time to turn off my tablet, and I said, just 5 more minutes. Even though I'd already had like 100 extra minutes. I wasn't trying to be mean. I just didn't feel like listening. I wanted to do my own thing, my own way, at my own time. And let's just say, things got a little stormy in my sunshine house. Later that day, I went to visit my Grammy. We were baking cookies. Well, she was baking, and I was licking the spoon like it was my job. She asked me to pass her the flour, and I said, ugh, do I have to? I know, not my best moment. And Grammy looked at me with her kind, gentle Grammy eyes and said, what's going on with your little heart today? And I just blinked at her. I didn't even know my heart was acting up. I told her the truth. I just didn't feel like doing what grown-ups say. That's when Grammy wiped her hands on her apron, sat beside me, and said something I'll never forget. She said, Sunny, obeying isn't always about feeling like it. It's about trusting the people God gave you to help you grow. That made me stop and think. I asked her, even when I don't want to? And she smiled and said, especially then. She reminded me that when I obey my parents, I'm not just doing what they want. I'm showing God that I love Him and I trust His plan. That made me think of Jesus. Did you know Jesus was a kid once too? Yep, the Son of God didn't skip being little. He was born into a family with Mary and Joseph, and he had to learn and grow just like us. The Bible tells us that when Jesus was 12 years old, he stayed behind at the temple talking with the teachers. His parents couldn't find him and were really worried. But when they found him, Jesus went home with them and obeyed them. He honored them. That's in Luke chapter 2. And even though he was God's son, he chose to obey because it was the right thing to do. That's how much he trusted God's plan. Now let's imagine something silly for a minute. What if kids were in charge? Like, what if you were the boss of the house? You would want ice cream for breakfast, cookies for lunch, and ice cream with cookies on top for dinner. Bedtime? Never. Toys stay out forever. And nobody has to brush their teeth again. Wow, sounds pretty fun at first, right? But after a while, things might get a little crazy. No bedtime means everyone's sleepy and grumpy. Too many cookies make your tummy hurt, and without rules or cleaning, the house turns into a giant mess, maybe even a cookie-crusted disaster zone. So maybe it's actually a really good thing that God gave us parents and teachers and grown-ups to help us, people who love us, guide us, and help us grow. And when we listen to them, we're learning how to follow God too. So when I got home from Grammy's house, I cleaned up every single toy in my room, even the ones hiding under the bed. I told my parents I was sorry for not listening. And you know what? It felt really good. Not just because my room was clean, but because my heart felt peaceful again. God tells us in the Bible, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. That's Ephesians 6:1. He gives us people to guide us because He loves us, and listening to them is part of how we live out our love for Him. So next time you feel like saying, I don't wanna, remember, obeying helps you grow. It shows love, and love always pleases God. Okay, friend, that's all for today. I'm heading back to Grammy's. She said we're making cookie pizza this time. I don't know what that means, but I'm showing up ready to obey and maybe lick the spoon again. See you next time on Grow with Sunny. Keep shining for Jesus. He's proud of you, and so am I.